Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Matt Capper and this is another video on Watcher of Realms. Today we're on the test server, as you can see by the big thing at the top that says test server. And this is a video on BOREAS, which I'm sure you figured out from the thumbnail and the title. And you're probably thinking this is about the Nerf, which it is. All of that because hopefully I've done my job and put that in the thumbnail and in the title. But what are we actually going to do? Doing something very different this time. We have the, I'm doing a screen capture over here. See, you can see my mouse. We've got two. We've got the test server. You can tell the test server one because it is in an actual emulator. So this is LD Player. By the way, there's a link in the description down below to use LD Player and support the channel. Yes, it is an affiliate link. Yes, I do receive a small amount if you do download and use the LD Player using my code. Now, what are we doing today? Well, I thought the best way possible to see what's going on with our good friend BOREAS is to do a gear raid side by side with the old and the new and see what the differences look like and use the exact same team. Now that is difficult, but thankfully, and this, I don't know if this was always like this, but I was actually able to level up the Pantheon on the test server. You see here's mine 63, 29, 29, 29. If we go here to the Pantheon, I actually now 51, so a little bit lower there, but 35, 35, 35. And I was really just clearing dots. So you see there's some pretty close, it's pretty close. So the Pantheon's no longer a big differentiator between my main account and the test server account. Gear is a major difference. However, I was able to kind of put the heroes together in a similar fashion. So why don't we go in to Gear Raid. This is on my main account. And we're going to go to stage 20. And you can see we've turned off the Power of Dominance. And this is the team we're going to use, which is at a 553. And if we go here, oops, by here I mean go raids on the test server, Gear Raid 1, stage 20, which I've passed, but we've taken off Power of Dominance. And if we go to fight, you see it's 498. Now, the main thing is, the difference is my lords are a little bit, because I've built them up, are better than the lords on the test server. So you see test server 4,000. You know, that's not right. 30,000. So there's 25. They actually don't make an appearance, right? So you don't have to worry about the lords being the difference maker. I actually do put Cyrus down at the very end. I had to get past this in testing. But he literally has nothing. So, you know, on the Nerf side here, this 4,000, and you see Twin Fiend 1,500. You see 23,000, and finally you see the only other place where there's a big difference is my Laurel has gear, and the Laurel on the test server does not have gear. I promise you. Though maybe she does. I don't even know anymore. Where are you? Oh, I have this by. Okay, so she should be up here. That's my bad. I didn't realize. Right? So 17 to 34. You can see the numbers there. I want to be on the up and up. I want to try to show you. So we'll show you the whole team. We'll show you every member we're using. The first one is the two BOREASes. And they're going to be very close. I tried to make sure. And in actuality, if we look here, our build power on the test server slightly higher, 78,170 versus 76,699, mainly due to artifact. Right, he's going to have a 25 of 25 Tear of Twilight, which obviously on my main account, it's 21, so it's not too far. But again, that's a big difference. Gear-wise, I do have a set, which will help a bit on this one. But 98, you know, you see the stats here, 25, 15, 1.6 second, 300 crit damage. Going to be a little bit better than over here because I had to use broken set. So some slightly different stats, but still looking at, you know, 15,000, 1.5, 326 crit damage, not quite crit capped. So some slight differences, right? But if you look at it, if you can see here, you see that the speed on the test server is faster. He's faster, and he's got a little bit more crit damage. 15,390 versus over here 15,800. So they're very, very close to each other in all respects. If anything, the one on the test server a little bit better, but pretty darn close. That's going to be the main dealer here. But we'll also look at the other champions I'm going to be using. We're just using Elwyn on the left side to keep the I alive and for rage regen. I think her rage regen's based on her skill, so this is actually going to be better because I have her maxed here. So where is it? This one here. So it's every 3 seconds for 3% of their rage. I'm not going to have that on here. Okay, when we look at skills, I've only got it so far up to level 3, so it's 4 seconds, 2%. So it's going to be better again on the test server. I'm relaying this plane better on the test server. The next champion we will be using is we are going to be using our Ardea on both. Now again, if we look at, I'm not going to show everything here because the point is to try to get to show you the comparison between the two runs. And so, but you see that the test server Ardea, better build power. If we keep going down, we go to I. Better build power. We go to Dolores. Oh, better build power. So all said and done, other than the lords, which I'm just using for their just to give some extra stats to the champions as they make their run. Now we're gonna do this full screen. Does that work? Yeah, it's good. Because I want to actually do the run and let you guys see the run on the test server, and then we'll do a run on my main and we'll see how different it is. Now, is this the best way to do it? I don't know, but this is the best way I can show you functionally what, because to me, BOREAS in the arena was broken. Unfortunately, I can't test that until it gets to live. Can't test it on the test server, but I can test Gear Raid 1, and that'll give us an honest understanding of exactly what it's going to do. So I'm going to lay everyone out exactly the same. Now, I'll tell you, this was by the skin of my teeth, this win, first time through. So I'm hoping that we have a similar result. So now I put I up, and I'm facing her up. The reason why is because of his shortened distance. I need more control on that left side to be able to give me the opportunity to deal with them all as they come. I hope that made sense. We're going to put her first. Now she's got an invigoration set, so we're going to get that extra 10%, right? That's the reason why we're putting her first. I guess it wouldn't really matter. He's the only one that's going to get that invigoration set. That's fine. So the only timings we really have to worry about is making sure that Hollow is being used when they're taking damage, not before. That's something I always have a bad time remembering, because she needs to heal in order to regen. Now we're going to push this up. The reason why we do that is we do not want to heal Ardea when we put her down. We want her to be at 0 health so she does the most possible damage. All right, we're going to get our first series of ult, and we're going to ult with them. Yeah, we'll put her down as well. She can stay down until I need to pull her back up. So we're going to get to... see, I did it again. Oh, well, they're coming out, so it's not going to be too bad. I got to remember to let that happen. And now Elwyn on this side, that's going to help the rage regen. It's also going to keep I alive. And we're going to pop this. We're going to see if we can get them all. We're going to pull her up when BOREAS gets to 50. And there he is. Pull. And now we can do that. And they're still doing damage. That's good. So we can pull her and we can put Ardea up. And here's the team. We don't need the totem. We don't want to use the totem because we want the heals to come from Hollow. Notice how that left side, and you'll probably see it in the other one. I haven't tested this actually on the main run. I'm just going from what I remember running this on the actual main account. But I feel like that left side is even more survivable now because he doesn't have the same range on that hit that you just saw. So we're going to run them again. And now we wait on Hollow until we want to wait until Boreas is taking damage, so that all of them are. That's a bit dangerous because we got to watch for survivability. We can also push Elowen's ult just to make sure that she stays alive. We can put Laurel down. If anyone looks like they're in trouble on that right side, I'll pop it early, but I just want to make sure Boreas is taking damage. Now let's pop the ults and let's get that rage regen going. Okay. And this is just a rinse, repeat. And you see how Ardea just sits in the background and she's just able to keep doing that damage. Just got to watch, make sure Hollow doesn't die. Again, we're going to save Hollow's ult until there's some damage being taken. Now this is the biggest damage piece. And this is where it gets the most critical, because there's going to be more than 10 champions on the floor here. Now we can pop ults. We're going to pop that ult too. Make sure they both stay alive. And boom, boom, boom. Good. And now it's just go time. It's just hope we kill them time. So we're gonna hope Boreas can do his thing and kill them. We can put Hollow down. Right? And we want to lift her as soon as he's at 50%. We don't know if he's at 50%, but we see that Autumn is not. We want to make sure we're popping all three at the same time. So he's 44, 45, 48. Okay, we're going to pop hers first so that she also benefits. We'll withdraw. Boom, boom, boom. And we are just hoping for as much kill, because now they're pounding on the gates. The gates are taking a beating. Now at this point, she's not going to actually rage regen when she does that, because there's no damage being taken, that as I am to understand it. So now we're just popping ults, like, and hoping we get some good damage here. Another set of ults. Now this is where I put him down as a distraction. He's not going to actually be able to be hit at this point, but because he's able to put down this little dude, once we kill those final two, it'll distract the main boss enough that we can do hopefully some damage on him. We don't need to, by the way, we don't need to win this. This is the perfect example, regardless of what happens. We just want to see how close we get. It looks like we're pretty close. I might use the totem to heal Ardea up when he breaks through, or if he breaks through. Oh, we can't put it down because of the ice thing, but once that ice thing pops, it'll. Now keep in mind, if we did need the extra damage, we could also have Constance on the battlefield to give inspiration to Ardea, but then she would have health, and she's always best when she's at no health. We don't need her to have health, right? There will be a point, if he breaks through this before we kill him, then we're probably gonna want him to have. Oh, she put the ice there. She's on top of it. Eyes on top of it. So here we are, like, we are close. And this is 20, remember. Based on the gear I have on this one, I felt like I couldn't do 21. We're just going to pop it. We're just going to give him the extra inspiration right now. Pop her for the extra crit. Just everything and anything. There we go. So we did it. There we go. We were able to do it. You see, there's just a sliver of health left. But this team was able to do it on the test server. Now let's look at what this same team can do. We can keep that up. I guess we can look at the stats, though it should make sense, right? Regardless, now let's go here. And we'll make that max screen. Let's do this again. Let's see. Now, this is not on the test server. I wonder, like, I should do this just so you guys know. We're not on the test server with this one. Now we're going to start it. And we're going to follow the exact same procedure. Even though I normally run her like this, I'm going to flip her like this because that's how we did the other one. I put her first to give her a little head start on putting up the ice crystals. Put him in that corner so he can reach right across. And we're going to give him the... I don't know if she has inspiration. Yeah, she does. Good. I forgot to check if she had inspiration. We're going to put her down. I think I'm noticing a little bit quicker on the Rage regen, which could be. I actually didn't go spec for spec, so that might have been my bad. Now, I don't know. Dolores is taking her sweet time, so that's helpful to kind of keep it in the same cadence. Okay, we're going to pop his first alt. We'll put Laurel down to be ready. Okay, we're going to be taking damage as soon as that damage comes through. We'll put our Eloin down. Okay, so two things you should notice. First off, look how much more damage the beasts are taking even before they get there. And we'll notice that the left side will start taking damage a lot quicker. Okay, we pop the alt now. Pop the alt here to make sure she stays alive. As soon as we can pop her alt. As soon as he hits 50, we pull her. Boom. And then boom, boom, boom. Let's get our Dea down. So I would say, like, look at who's taking splash damage up in the upper corner there. That's the difference. That's the nerf in the breadth. And because of that, look how much quicker we're able to clear these waves. This is significant. What I will say is, even though I would say we have functionally very similar teams, I don't think we've put together a team that is significantly stronger. It's by all means, it's actually weaker. Our lords have stats. That's where the difference in the total team power is. But look at this. We're waiting for the next wave. That's how significantly different these two are. It is significant. It is ridiculously significant. I'll double check. In fact, I'll double check that I don't have power dominance. I'm pretty sure I don't. I think it would say up in the upper corner, but this is crazy to me. All right, we're going to prop her down. We're going to pop these alts as soon as, in fact, we'll do that. They're starting to take damage, and we should be able to do that. And we'll pop Eloins just to make sure Hollow stays alive. Look how quick, look how much, look at it. I can't even, here, we'll pop her alt. Why not? Like, they're getting cleared so much quicker. Now, this is not a perfect test. I get that. There are some nuances in gear that may cause the variation. But I don't think it's so much so. Like, this is a night and day. This is a different, this is different. This whole, everything about this is different. We're going to lift her now. We're going to pop alts. Like, this is obscenely different. Okay, we gotta watch this right side. We gotta pop it early. I'm a little bit worried about Autumn's survivability, but that's fine. We're gonna pop Eloin on the other side, make sure everyone stays alive. But like, this is, they haven't even touched. They're gonna be dead before they even come close, and this is why it's such a significant nerf. Where I want Boreas to lay is I want him to stop being the arena catch-all. But I don't think it's so much so that he should no longer be the most dominant version of this. And this is how significantly the difference is. I popped those early. I don't think it matters. Like, this is like they haven't even, it's not close. It's not fair. Now, what I would do in my runs is I then drop Silas at the end just to take the boss out. So this is a big nerf. This is a big deal. Like, this guy's gonna go down with how much more, and we'll see it in the damage, I suspect, because his range and the 240 versus, what is it, 150? Even though the timings are different and the cooldowns are different, it doesn't matter. This is we don't have to put down. We don't have to put down Cyrus. So Cyrus could have been a difference maker. I know that wasn't efficient, but it doesn't matter. I guess we'll pop hollow just for giggles. But this is significant. This is we'll see how much quicker it does it. I have better gear, but not on the champions. We looked at the champions. They're not the gear isn't better. The build power is the same. If anything, my test server has better artifacts. This is BOREAS straight up killing. All right. So let's see where we are. It was like 6 minutes and something for the other one. This one, oh, I don't even get to see it. It wasn't the shortest time. Okay, but let's check out the stats. There's your difference right there. Okay, because BOREAS was doing so much more field damage, everyone else drops their damage, right? You have the same number of troops. Obviously, they're healing, so there's a bit on the heal to account for extra damage. So the left side total damage should be higher, I would think. But 150 million versus 130, and like half, Ardea did half the damage, and Hollow did half the damage. It was all about BOREAS. And again, when we looked at the stats, objectively speaking, the test server BOREAS is built slightly better. So to me, that's significant, and I think it's too much. This is level 20, and when you're at 78 power, like, what are your guys' thoughts? Is this gear, now the big difference obviously on the second one could be that I didn't use broken stats. If that's the case, I'll run it again with broken sets. That may have been a big difference, actually. So let's do one again. Let's do one more just to make sure I can break up his set, because that is an extra damage piece, right? It's crit damage plus 30. Well, we're get that. It adds the plus 30, right? So the only difference is it gets an extra 30 crit damage. So he'll be sitting at 330. Honestly, that's not... If he's sitting at 330 crit damage once he's full in the game, and he's sitting already above, he's sitting at 326. So all it's doing, the only difference is that one's crit capped and one's not, because the test server BOREAS is quicker. He's already got 326.5. So BOREAS, real server BOREAS, live server, whatever you call it, BOREAS, is just catching up that 30% crit damage that the other BOREAS already has. So 15,390 versus oh god, I hate it when I do that. 15,899. Like, they're so close. Like 23,000 on test server, 25,000. 15,390, 15,800. $293, $340. So you get a 1.5 versus a 1.6 second. You get 326 crit damage. He's got 300 crit damage, but he's going to get 330 crit damage at the end. All these stuff, to me, I mean, you can argue it, I guess, but Neither of them have rage regen. So, and I have better rage regen because my Elowen is better developed on the test server because she's fully leveled. Like all her skills are fully maxed. I don't need to redo this with a broken set because that broken set just levels the playing field between the two of them, which is why he's got the better player power. I I mean, gosh, Boreas needed to be nerfed. I agree with that, but I think this ultimate is where I have a problem. I think to me, my impression, the 250 crit damage for 30 seconds versus 175 for 25 seconds. And I think the duration of freeze was changed as well, wasn't it? No, it looks like it's the same on that. Okay, so basically what you're getting is the skill cost. I thought they were changing the skill cost. Oh yeah, so it's 1,200 to 1,000. Whoopee, but you're looking at 80%. The problem is this is the problem. Boreas is OP in arena because of this, but now you've made it so he's barely able to be used in this scenario. And what you go back to is you probably need two mages, one on each side, which is not always possible for people pushing. Yeah, like you might. I think the best way probably is to use a Lasir or a Comet on the left side rather than using I, because his damage is not improved enough. And you see here the other big difference, right? 180 magic damage, 10 enemies to 200 on the old. Wide range, but the range has changed. This triggers every 16 seconds versus 15 on the new, but 15 is not like 1 second different. Doesn't make that much of a big deal. During the ultimate, the skills reduced by an extra 9 seconds instead of an extra 10 seconds, so it's a nerf there. This is probably the ultimate is probably what did too much damage, but I think they've overcompensated. You see 55 extra damage versus 40 damage, so that's a compounding thing. And then I think the A1's probably the only thing that didn't. Yeah, so to me, gosh, it's significant on Gear Raid 1. So how do you fix it? I think this didn't need to be nerfed. I think the 55% extra damage should come back because that allows you to synergize with, like, I is now less effective because he's doing less damage to those champions she's freezing. He also has a smaller range. I don't think the range is as big of a deal in arena. I could be wrong, but typically you're dropping him at the top. I use him, so you're dropping him at the top, and he's destroying all those mass units right at the beginning before my Cerberus even has to do his thing on that third and fourth round, I think. And that has nothing to do with the area of effect. So to me, here's what I would change. I would say this should go back to 55. This should change. They should change it back to the same range, which they nerfed, because that's what really helps. Like if they change this back to its original, Frozen Purification, back to the same range, back to the same damage, and intervals and everything. If they just reverted this skill, the auto skill, back to its original, and they revert this skill back to its original, and this they go middle ground, because I think they went a little too far, 175 to 250. Maybe keep that 25 seconds instead of the 30, and maybe go to 200 damage. I think that would make me feel better, because then you're getting that ice synergy. He's the Ice King, right? So you're getting the synergy with ice. So someone like I can just be fast. She doesn't have to do damage. She's just going to be fast, dropping those pods down to freeze that left side. And because he has that extra width, he's able to start hitting that side quicker, which means he's going to start clearing those waves quicker, which means he's still the best in Gear Raid 1. Which is where he should be, in my opinion. That's what he should look like. So that's probably what I would say as a happy medium. I don't know until you test it what that would functionally do. You need to find that middle ground, because right now, this significantly impacts people with BOREAS who haven't cleared Gear Raid 1. And they need BOREAS. Say they've already cleared 19 because of him, but they're still pushing forward. They're still a younger account. They're not a spendy like me. Here, I better put that test server back on so you guys aren't all confused. He does need to be nerfed. He's like, I do. My happy world would be that he is less effective in arena, and equally effective in Gear Raid 1. And because at the end of the day, being good at Gear Raid 1 isn't the be-all, end-all. And people who have BOREAS and have someone who can get them through Gear Raid 1 is the be-all, end-all. And I know that sounds like I'm saying two different things, but I'm just functionally thinking about it. Like, hey, from a grand perspective of break the game versus not break the game, Gear Raid 1 is one gear raid. It's the left side. There's two pieces. It's easier to get good pieces. Even at 19 versus 2021, you're still going to get good, strong left side quicker than you're going to get good, strong right side. BOREAS is not cracked out for the right side. Yeah, you can use him in Gear Raid 3, but he's not ideal because of his range. So the reality is where he really is effective is Gear Raid 1. Let's make him Gear Raid 1 effective and continue. And Void Rift, arguably, which I don't even want to think about because I can't build up enough champions on the test server to test all the Void Rift stuff where I use him, especially against those big white tower beasts, behemoths. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? I mean, we're kind of just going through it in my head. It's a little bit scrambled, but I feel like this nerf is too much, but I feel like it needed to happen, and I don't know how else you would make it okay. So again, recap, I say keep this, put this to 25 second at 200, and that should improve his Gear Raid 1 from what we saw, which is barely passing 20 without power dominance, versus like easy breezy beautiful cover girl. I don't know where I was going with that. On my live server, it was too easy. It was very easy with average gear. Like, I didn't need to steal gear from my top. Like, you see this, I just used the gear he had on him. Obviously I couldn't, if I'm having trouble clearing, I can steal the top gear and push through, but obviously you need to be able to get through Gear Raid 1 to have that best gear. So yeah, I think to me, that would be a happy medium. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of the BOREAS nerf? Like, do you think maybe he didn't need to be nerfed at all? I don't know. I think that the people that are going to complain the most about it are probably the people using him in arena, and you can never be happy about that. But the people who don't have him, it makes arena broken. Like, I basically don't look at power of the enemy I'm fighting. If they don't have BOREAS, I think I win. Even Hatsut can't keep up to him. She can keep up to him in one level, and after that, it's the BOREAS show, and that's probably broken. I mean, it's not probably, it is broken. But yeah, I don't know what else to say other than I feel like a happy medium might be the answer. No nerf is not the answer. It just can't be, much to the chagrin of people. But I think he needs to be a little more powerful, and then allow the game to power creep him, because that's what happens. New champions are introduced with new ways of doing things that are stronger, that surpass the previous champions, which entices people to pull, et cetera, et cetera. So those are kind of the things you do, and I think we can get there. Anyway, those are all my thoughts, scrambled as they are. I'm sorry I'm so all over the place, but let me know what you think in the comments down below, and be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.